Well, one of the things we take pride about in the show is hearing out and responding to our listeners' curiosities. But of course, that is not exclusive to us. A few weeks ago, our colleagues with the Equity and Justice team fielded a seemingly simple question. Why are there so many Asian restaurants in Malden? Well, that question became the focus of an incredible video piece by our friend and newsroom colleague Meghan Smith as part of their ongoing series on Massachusetts gateway cities. You can check this video out on YouTube. It's got 100,000 plus views and counting. In her reporting, Meghan also discovered a city in love with Pokemon. So, obviously we have this question that came in. How did you wind up covering this story about Asian restaurants in Malden?
Yeah, we love a question to help us guide our reporting. This actually came from our launch video for our project about gateway cities. Our team is going to go to all 26 gateway cities in Massachusetts this year. So in our video, we asked people, what questions do you have about your city? What do you want to know? And as you say, someone wrote in, why are there so many Asian restaurants in Malden? And that really turned into quite a journey of discovery. It's where I met Diana and learned that, for more than 70 years ago, her father had a restaurant, and it just kind of took off from there. And we learned a lot about immigration, public transportation, Asian culture that's thriving in Malden.
All right, we're going to explore that all a little bit more. But before we get there, for folks who don't know, what is Gateway City, and why is GBH doing this kind of look at all of these gateway cities?
Yeah, so the term gateway city was coined about 20 years ago. It applies to small to medium-sized cities in Massachusetts that meet certain criteria about education and income level. And gateway comes from the idea that they are gateways to the American dream because many immigrant communities settled in them. A lot of them are kind of former mill towns, former industrial cities like Lowell, Worcester, New Bedford, Fall River, Everett, Chelsea, all the way out to, Springfield and Western Mass. So, one of our goals on our team is to cover stories that we think aren't being covered. So we thought, really exploring these communities, diving into the different cultures, the diversity of them, it's going to be a great way to study Massachusetts and what's going on. So we are setting up community listening sessions in all the cities we're about halfway through the year. So we've gone to about 13 cities already, and we will be going to all 26 by the end of the year.
All right, so let's talk about this story in particular. I mean, sometimes I like to think about reporting a story as a little bit like a piece of popcorn, right? You start with this kernel,
Yes.
and it will explode as you do your reporting into its own unique
This
shape.
one did.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about what did you find as you started? I mean, it seems like a simple question. Somebody asked, why are there so many Asian restaurants? So you go to Malden, and what did you learn?
Yeah, so we learned that a lot of Asian people came to Malden back in the 70s when the Orange Line was extended to Malden, which
Right.
Diana knew. And then the other reason was that people were getting priced out of Chinatown in Boston. They didn't want to live there, maybe for, safety reasons. And a lot of Asian people went to Quincy South, but then north to Malden. And the city used to be a lot of Irish and Italian immigrants. It's now one of the most diverse cities in all of Massachusetts. And I think the high school is officially the most diverse high school in all of Massachusetts. So we discovered that, but we also discovered something I didn't expect, which is Malden is home to the Malden Gaming District. And there's quite a vibrant Pokémon Go community there because the mayor is a big avid gamer and is just pushing to make Malden a destination for gaming businesses. So this was quite a fun discovery, if I do say so.
All right. Well, I mean, what could be more fun than gaming? We'll talk a little bit more about gaming in a second, but Diana, I want to turn to you. You're not just in a position of authority with your role in the Greater Malden Asian American Community Coalition. You are also a lifelong Malden resident, and as Meghan pointed out, your family is at the sort of start of this restaurant boom in many ways.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about the background of your family in Malden.
Well, thank you. My father owned what was called the Jade Restaurant, the building was torn down, is now apartments. He was born in San Francisco and went to New York City to learn the restaurant business and that was kind of the career path for a lot of folks at that time who wanted to be in learn about the restaurants. He found an opportunity in Malden to purchase this small restaurant. This is around the World War II era. It was called the Good Earth at that time. He was successful enough to expand it practically double the size. For a long time, it was the only Asian Chinese restaurant in Malden. some early in the 60s, there was a little bit more competition, but he was very successful in his restaurant business. He got to know a lot of the community leaders and was involved in the Chamber of Commerce and such. So I was very proud of his success.
Did you grow up working in the restaurant?
They wanted me to, but I didn't like to do that.
How did you get out of it?
Well, I think I was a little bit of a brat, but no, I did. I was in the restaurant because my father was there, and my mother helped out a little bit. There were some family members who were part of the restaurant. We had to eat, so I was physically in the restaurant. But as I said, I think it was too much of a brat to be of too much
Got out
use.
of having to pull the long hours. Fair
Yes.
enough.
Oh, no, there were long hours. My father would work till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about how you've seen Malden change in your lifetime.
I would say it's a huge difference. I was born in Malden Hospital. I think I was the only Asian baby at that time.
Wow.
When I graduated from Malden High, there was 4 Chinese students, including me, so there was 3 others. And we knew everybody. I talked to some of the students now who are, juniors and seniors, and they kind of look at me when they see there was only 4 of us, because currently the Malden population for Asians is about 26 to 30%.
Yeah.
There's about 60, 70 different languages spoken in the high school. So it's a huge difference. But we did start to see a little bit of the difference, as Meghan said, once the MBTA came, which was in the mid-'70s.
Yeah, is that the biggest factor here?
I think there was a very significant factor. The other factor, too, was at that time in Chinatown, it was kind of the combat zone, and it wasn't safe to live there. People got robbed. It was just not a good place for this to have children there. Malden had some really good housing stock. It's well maintained, and at that time affordable. Although nothing is affordable now. You say you live there. You tell your friends. And it just sort of grew.
A community blossoms.
Yes,
You could have a backyard, right?
yes, with a backyard. For gardens. For your gardens, yeah.
You're listening to The Curiosity Desk. We're talking with GBH's Meghan Smith and lifelong Malden resident Diana Jeong about Asian restaurants in the city's gaming district. So let's turn to the city's gaming district. As your kernel of popcorn popped when you were doing this story, lo and behold, the gaming district became a central piece of this. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, right when I got off the Orange Line at Malden Center, there's a big sign that says Malden Gaming District. It has, all the symbols and, classic, it looks like a classic arcade sign. I was intrigued. And I learned that for about the last 10 years, the city has been developing this gaming district. And it's not gambling, to be clear. It's mostly, there's a video game cafe, there's this comic book store, and they include gaming broadly. There's a karaoke bar, a rock climbing gym, and then there's a lot of events that go on too. There's like role-playing games and then Pokémon Go, which we'll talk about. But the mayor himself is a big part of this. He's a super big gamer. He used to work at an arcade.
Yeah, in your story, he notes that he worked in an arcade for 10 years.
He's a super big Pokémon Go player himself. So it started with this Bodeborg, if people have heard of it.
I was gonna ask about that. Yeah. So when Bodeborg opened years and years ago, myself, GBH's Adam Riley, and former GBHer Christina Quinn did a story where we all went and did Bodeborg. We did that story for Greater Boston.
Yes.
And so I remember that.
How do you explain that? Because someone explained it to me, a mix between escape room and Ninja Warrior.
I mean, that's fair. I would describe it a little bit more like a escape room and live puzzles. Like there's a little bit of physicality, but it's more that it's puzzles and also you got to solve the puzzle to escape. Yeah. Sometimes physical.
Yeah. So I think, as the mayor said, that's kind of the crown jewel of the gaming district, but he has plans. He wants to keep going, he wants a retro arcade there, so it's thriving there. It's pretty unique. I'm not aware of any other district like this. If anyone knows one, let us know. But yeah,
Diana, how have you noticed the impact of the sort of gaming, the gaming district, so called? Has it been a good thing for Malden?
I think it's been a good thing. There's also sort of a tie-in where after they do their Pokemon thing, the mayor literally escorts, I would say, at least 100 players to a local restaurant.
There you go.
And I think there's just sort of a lot of joy in doing something like this. It's you play your game, you have fun, you go to eat. I can't think of anything that's more exciting or fun for a weekend to do.
Yeah. And the city is trying to promote that connection. They have a campaign called, I think it's Gourmet and Gaming. So they are encouraging people to kind of pair those together.
And I think some of the other restaurants, like the breweries, are getting involved with that sort of board games and such.
Game
so
nights,
so it's just sort of blossoming
It's
into
an ecosystem.
Yeah,
You're watching
exactly.
an ecosystem develop.
Yeah.
What is the role, Diana? What's the role of the Greater Malden Asian American Community Coalition in this? What's that work all about?
Okay, well, GMAC for short.
Okay,
we were
GMAC.
founded about 10 years ago. What we saw was there was a lot of Asians moving into Malden, but were there services? Could they go to City Hall and talk to somebody? Why did you have to go into Chinatown when you could come here? So slowly we have been building. We've done a lot with getting language access to city services. We've gotten candidates forums where we have interpreters let people come in, hear what their concerns are, the candidates hear what the concerns are with the Asian community, so that they're able to have a reasonable decision-making process when they go to the ballot box. We've helped elders with gambling problems, with ping pong. We are currently in the process of getting a capital campaign. We've bought a building. We want that to be an all-encompassing building for meetings, for recreation.
For Pokémon Go.
Well, we hadn't thought of it, but why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Is your father still around?
No, he's passed many years
I'm
ago.
sorry to hear that.
No,
what do you think he would make of where Malden is today?
I think he'd be a little bit shocked.
Yeah?
I think I would say my father was a little bit more conservative, but I think my mother would kind of be interested in it. I think even myself never envisioned that it would be like this, but I'm very happy it is.
Yeah.
Well, you never know where life is going to
No,
go. We've
no.
been speaking with Meghan Smith, senior digital producer on the Equity and Justice team for GBH News, and Diana Jeong, a lifelong Malden resident, co-founder of the Greater Malden Asian American Community Coalition. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
Edgar.